Hello and welcome back to another video. It is the October ScrawlrBox, and if you do not know what ScrawlrBox is, it is a monthly art subscription box where you receive supplies every month and a prompt where you use just the supplies in the box to make a piece of art based on that prompt. A little sweetie in there every month, and there is now a Scrawler zine where you get told a bit about the supplies, some tips from the artist, some tips from Scrawler themselves, and they also feature artwork from previous boxes, etc. If you use the hashtag ScrawlrChallenge, and every box you purchase will plant a tree, which is pretty cool. Every box is £15 a month, free shipping in the UK, and I'm not sure what the shipping is elsewhere. I will link it in the description below. So let's jump straight into the box. It's quite a heavy box. The postman actually did not post this through the letterbox, and I had to go and collect it from Royal Mail, which is unusual because it's not that bulky. So anyway, let's take all that out of the box. So this looks very nice. I'm very excited about this. So here we have our featured artist. I really like the look of that. Very nice, very nice. Ayman Hazuri, do apologise if I've just butchered your name, a Syrian artist. So if you want to read a bit more about him, you can pause the video here, and the social media links are just at the bottom here. So we won't look at the Scrawler zine just yet, we will have a look at that in a moment. So first thing first, we have a Scrawler pad, 20 sheets of 140 GSM cartridge paper. This tells me that we're going to do, it's kind of calligraphy supplies, and also, I don't know, the artist's signature says Calligraphy paint or something. I can't read that properly, but it shows to me that this might be calligraphy type box in here. Let's have a look what's in this bit. So we have our vinyl sticker here, which is a piece of the artwork. No, it's not. I tell a lie. It's a piece of the front of the Scrawler zine. Wow. We have a full, it looks to me like a full set of pens here. So let's take all this out. And the sweetie is an Uncle Joe's mint ball, which I believe these are a Lancastrian thing. So this is something my mum would usually get whenever we were visiting Lancashire, so that's pretty nice. Not my favourite personally, but so let's put that to one side. Well, let me actually see it. So we have a Kuretake Fude twin tip marker. I can't see anything major on there. So we have quite a thick nib here. Let's get our pad to test them out on. It's quite stiff felt nib this, but it's very nice. And then the other side, oh, it's grey, and it's not as stiff. It's almost like a Copic marker, that one feels like on that side. Very nice, very nice. We also have the Centropen liner. So it's just another fine liner. Nothing too spectacular. Very nice. Just a standard liner, I would say. I quite like this barrel. It's very different to barrels you usually see. We have another pencil, another Kohinoor pencil. I don't know whether we had the Kohinoor in the last box or the box before that. But another standard pencil. It is a B, so not the hardest. And then lastly, we have these manuscript Flexi Cali Creative pens. Let's see what this says. Comes in a range of colours. Italic markers are ideal instrument for modern hand lettering. So yeah, I was right with the calligraphy style box. Oh, may have just broken that box. No, I didn't. We're fine. So let's get all of these out. So there's a nice range of colours there, including black and grey. So this twin tip marker might be have a bit of competition there for being used. So yeah, this has this metallic nib here, which I quite like the shape of that. It's very interesting. Not seen a marker with that shape nib before, as in that part, not the actual italic part. And they lay down very, very nice. Oh, they're very soft. Oh, these are lovely. What I like about this so far, because usually I would have shied away from a calligraphy box and not touched it like the plague, is that the featured artist actually hasn't done any calligraphy as her art, or his artwork rather. I like that they've shown that you don't have to do calligraphy with these pens, and instead you can do a piece of normal artwork, which is nice. These pens are lovely to work with, and the Scrawler challenge is Asemic aesthetic? I have no idea. Using lines and symbols that look like writing but do not have any meaning, relating to the enjoyment of study of beauty. Well, that's interesting. I've never heard of that before, so I might have to do a little bit of research, and I'm actually going to just quickly read the scrawlers in, and then we'll come back on to discuss what the artist tips are about these pens. That didn't go quite as well as I expected. I really struggled with this, actually, and my initial thoughts that this might be quite an easy challenge, and it really wasn't. It proved me wrong quite a lot. So as you saw in the time lapse, I kind of did the alphabet. I was practicing my lettering, probably not as neat as I could have done, but I practiced lettering. I've got the nice alphabet written out, and then I wrote feather a few times because I had it in mind that I wanted to do a peacock. Now, well, before I get onto that, I did this feather in here. I've actually used half of this book already just practicing, and I really like this. It looks very nice. I like the lettering, etc. But I really had it in my head that it needed to be calligraphy, and it needed to be letters that you could read, basically. And I did a lot of jotting out in my book. Don't mind this mess, it's a lot of overlapping jotting out, and I played around with adding water, and it actually creates this beautiful watercolour effect, and I thought that's perfect for me to do. Now I did film this segment, but I've actually cut it out because it was a bit long, but I actually did a peacock, and I did it like this, and whilst it's not the worst, I'd written I'd written feathers around each peacock feather, and in my head, this looked like it was going to work. I'd written peacock feather here in fancy calligraphy writing. And then afterwards, I absolutely hated it. I hated it so much that I got in a bit of a rage about it. Now, after my rage, I practiced a little bit more. I actually looked up the artist and found some more of his work. And some of it's so good. Well, all of it's really good, but what I'm saying is some of it is this style, and I was kind of looking at the strokes, and I don't know, this might be a word, but to me, I can't read that as a word. So I was more looking at it as lines and shapes, and that's what I was trying to work on. So I started playing around some more. I did this elephant and I really like it, but again, I was writing actual words and it just wasn't working. It also didn't help that I was doing it at such a small scale that the thick pens were not creating the lines I wanted. Then I did my cat, which again didn't work out how I wanted, and I really needed to break that down some more. So I was doing some more practicing, and I was actually looking at his pen strokes and trying to mimic them, and trying to mimic the swooping and the thick and thin lines, etc. And that's when I settled on doing a bird. Again, as you've noted as well, I've actually done this on watercolour paper, because as good as this is limiting me to doing actual words, and I didn't want to do that. So I wanted to create something a bit bigger, so I got my watercolour paper out from a previous box and I decided to do this eagle, bald eagle, and it's gone. I really like it. I think it's just what I wanted to do. I feel like I've captured what the essence of this challenge was. The only problem is it is actually, again, at small scale, so instead of using the full width of these pens, I was actually tilting them like this, and luckily, because they are so flexible, I was able to create these lines still, but do it maybe not quite as well, because I'm not using the side of the pen, so I wasn't getting those really nice thick and thin. So it was, the strokes are nice, but they're potentially not the same as they should be, like he's used them, basically. That's what I'm trying to say. But yeah, I actually am very happy with this. I think it's turned out really well. I basically just mimicked what he'd done here and did an open bird so I could do those sweeping feathers. I kind of wanted the feathers to be coloured rather than just the chest like his. So that's what I've done there. I think the lines could be cleaner. They could be a bit more, I don't know, it's not legible isn't the word, but look more like words, I think. But yeah, and I tried to do the cross hatching, but he's used a much thinner pen. They've given us a little bit too thick of a pen for this, so I feel like that's not quite achieved what I wanted it to. But I think I've managed to capture the challenge well. I think I was almost tempted to sway from it and do a piece of art that was kind of watercolour effects, using these pens instead, and maybe that might be a challenge that I will do soon. But I'm glad I've managed to produce something, and I'm actually quite pleased with it. So let me know your thoughts. Did you do this challenge, and how well did you do it? Do you think that you managed to do the Asemic aesthetic? Never say it. Or do you think it was just too hard? Do you think this is way out of your comfort zone like I do? So please let me know your thoughts below. Give me a thumbs up if you like this video, and subscribe if you want to see more. Thank you.